Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are going to look at the H-111 Camo B rangefinder from the company Wosports. This comes on the tail of another video I did covering the H-111 rangefinder. Now both of these units are very similar, but there are some subtle differences. So if you're in the market and you're interested in one of these rangefinders and you kind of had some questions, this might be a video that helps get some of those answers for you. So what we're going to do today, we're going to take a look at these in detail. First off, we're going to go through the H-111 Camo B in field use footage. You can go back and take a look at one of my prior videos if you want to see the H-111, but again today more specifically focused on the H-111 Camo B in the field use footage. Then we're going to come back to the studio, take a look at these in detail, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. And so with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Wosports who did provide this for review. And so as we get into the field use with the Wosports H-111 Camo B. They may also refer to this as the H-111H depending on where you get your information. Now here you can see getting everything ready at my range. I was always kind of wondering if they had everything established at the appropriate distances, and it was pretty darn close all things considered. So you can see here just getting some good practical use at my range. All in all, working very well for my needs, getting myself on target and having a wonderful day at the range. This is one thing that I can say would definitely come into play. So if you're somebody who likes good practical time at the range, maybe you're a hunter, maybe you like bow hunting, the Wosports rangefinders will definitely work for your need. But for me, I have many other needs for this particular type of unit. So let's see what this thing says. Let's get a distance. So I'm gonna ping off of that tower up there. Let's see what we get. All right. It says 5 degrees. And it seems to be out of the range for distance. It knows it's 5 degrees, but it won't range. Just to test it, for the fact of the matter, something close, 5.5 yards. So I'm well outside the range of that tower, but I know it's 5 degrees. And so of course I realize this does have a practical limitation. This particular unit measuring from 5 yards up to about 800 yards maximum distance. Now I did think it was pretty interesting that I was able to get the overall angle and sort of get at least a little bit of a diagnostic even while I was out here. That was one thing that I really did want to test, and I could see that after coming back and doing a little bit of research, my overall measured angle and then the angle that the actual rangefinder was telling me was a little bit different, but I find it was more my accuracy in measurements on the maps versus the actual rangefinder itself. All right, so I figured it out. I just had to get a little bit closer. So now I am at 5.6 yards, and it's so steep they can't tell me, but we made it. So right down in front of me there's a ski lift structure. As I get on this here, this says 121.1 yards and -9 degrees. So again, 121.1 yards, -9 degrees. And so now back from the field use footage. All in all, pretty good results. I mean, these things are, you know, reasonable tools there, and I'm not going to say cheap, but they're on the fair, reasonable, and budget side of things. So performance will be limited, but you definitely do get what you pay for. Some great features in these and the ability to just understand a number of different things about your scenarios. And of course, depending on what sport you're using them for in your actual scenarios. So we do need to take into consideration the fact that the H-111 Camo B has a little bit more functionality than the original H-111, but at an initial glimpse, like, you'd probably look at these and say, what exactly is the difference? From a general standpoint, pretty similar in overall size, the overall form factor, everything about them looking seemingly about the same, and even to the point that the buttons are the same, the camo pattern the same, the batteries, the general operation, everything about these very much the same. But it is the 111 Camo B that adds some additional functionality. And so in order to tell you what the additional features are, let's take a look at the original H-111, which does give you an indication of the battery life. You do have a target icon. This can display in meters or yards, so of course it's telling you your distance. This can also tell you a general speed, so if you're tracking an object, it can tell you the relative speed. This does give you sort of like a flagpole indicator, which again gives you the ability to sort of lock onto a flagpole and get a general understanding of your distance if you use this for golf applications. But then now the H-111 Camo B, not only does this also have the ability to give you your distance and your speed, but it also gives you vertical and horizontal distances, gives you a slope. So if you need the slope, you can get the slope. It does, you know, in other words, I guess, giving you the angle, so the angle of attack. So I'm going to do my best to demonstrate this to you. It's not going to be perfect, but as I press the power button, you can see this does come on in mode 1. You have your battery indicator on the top, your center sort of aiming point, and then you'll notice on the right-hand side, yards. The bottom indicates your vertical distance, and you'll see that this does time out fairly quick. Now I'm going to have to demonstrate this back outside, but if you press the button a second time, it is trying to acquire some information, so between the distances and your vertical elevation and whatnot. So that is kind of leveraging the power button. As I press the mode button, this does go to mode 2. It's a little bit different. You do also sort of get similar information, but now horizontal distance, and you'll notice again this did time out fairly quickly. As we hit the mode button again, mode 3, you can actually get a speed indication, which is nice. It is in kilometers per hour. It is nice the fact that if you want to, you can get a speed reading. I wish it was in miles per hour for me, but at least you do have an indicator. Now again, just trying to give you a practical field use example. A little bit difficult here, where it's not going to line up perfectly with my camera, but you can see here, I am going to bounce this off of my fence. So pressing the power button here, and a second time, this is going to get things kind of going for me. And as we take a look, this is mode 3. So I'm going to go into mode 1. Now that I'm in mode 1, pressing against the fence, that is 10.3 yards away. You can see 0 vertical feet of elevation difference. As I pan up into the trees, this is now 13.9 yards away, and that's 1.2 yards above level. So that's the way you kind of take a look at that. So again, as I press the button a couple times here, there you see a second time 13.2 yards of distance and 0.9 yards of elevation gain over level. Mode 2 is going to be similar but a little bit different. Again, as you see here, trying to get everything sort of into focus. Not the easiest holding it up against my cell phone, but again, pressing the button here a second time, that's going to be 8.7 yards away. That's going to be a 0 degree angle. So you can see 8.6, 8.5 yards away. And then depending on my angle, you can see that's plus 2 degrees. And as I move around and pan up, it continues to increase Depending on the background, you'll notice it does get a little bit difficult to actually read the words. Obviously, a white background or a light background is going to be easier, but depending on the background, that will impact your ability to actually see. Mode 3 is going to be a speed indicator, so as we press it into mode 3, as I pan with my scene, you can see it 2.6 kilometers per hour. The faster you go, the faster that's going to match. So it does kind of know the speed. It's going to be a little difficult for me to demonstrate that, but it gives you an understanding. And so, all right, guys, there you have it. A look at the Wosports H-111 Camo B. All in all, very nice. A cool, compact little unit. This gives you useful information in a number of different scenarios. Now, of course, I did find the limitation to the overall capabilities. I was kind of testing it for that purpose. Not a perfect test, but at least giving it a try. All in all, very nice. Now, I do have to say, there are a couple things that I think could be improved just simply when you're using the yards mode, convert the speed to miles per hour. When you're using the meters mode, kilometers per hour does work. All in all, I like the fact that you can get, your vertical elevation, your horizontal distance, and then also the angle. It is a useful piece of information. Now, I haven't quite found for me exactly why I need that, but I can see where it would apply. So all in all, a very nice unit. Of course, it's a little bit of an upgrade over the standard H-111, and so if you're looking for a slightly more featured unit, the H-111 Camo B would be the way to go. And so again, to the people at Wosports, thank you very much for providing this for review. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless channel, which is more on my primary gear. On that channel, I cover everything from hiking, camping, and backpacking excursions, all the gear that goes with it. So from sleep systems, shelter systems, knives, axes, backpacks, flashlights, you name it, that's my Outer Limitless YouTube channel. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.